There are so many parallels between matzah and good relationships. The first one, there is a prohibition, a rabbinic prohibition, of eating matzah on the eve of Pesach. The Jerusalem Talmud says that anybody who has matzah on the eve of Pesach prior to the appointed time, which is after a nightfall on Pesach, anybody who has matzah too early, it's as if they had premarital intimacy with their spouse prior to the marriage in their father-in-law's home. It's like, whoa, is it really that bad? Eating matzah before Pesach. I mean, you're eating something holy. It's just at the wrong time. But it's really that big of a deal? Yes, relationships are holy. In the right time, the right place, in the right way, relationships are very sacred. The Korban Ha'eda, which is one of the commentaries on the Talmud Yerushalmi, on the Jerusalem Talmud, explains that the reason why eating matzah prematurely is akin to a premature relationship. What do they both have in common? They both center not around the relationship, but around the lust. And we can't just eat matzah because it tastes good. If you do enjoy matzah, that's not a bad thing. If you do enjoy good relationships, that's a good thing as well. But we can't just have matzah because it tastes good. We have to have matzah because this is what God wants us to have. This is how God wants us to experience our freedom. So lesson number 1 in relationships. Focus on the relationship, not just on the experience. A relationship, a good relationship, should be a good experience, but it shouldn't just be experience-centered. It should be relationship-centered. Our sages refer to the matzah as lechem oni. We say in the Haggadah, Heilach ma'anya. This is the bread of oni, of anya. Often it's translated as the bread of affliction. And I'd like to share with you 3 interpretations, and I think all 3 of these interpretations have great significance in the realm of relationships. Number 1, why is it called lechem oni? Oni means poor man's bread. And the Talmud says that the way poor people used to bake bread, for the sake of efficiency and running the oven efficiently, one person would man the oven, one person would bake the bread. If you have the same person who's baking the bread manning the oven, you're going to burn unnecessary fuel. You have 2 people working together, it's going to burn less fuel. And the Talmud says that's actually how matzah needs to be baked. It has to be baked efficiently, otherwise it becomes chametz, just the way poor people back in the day would bake bread. It's the bread of partnership. 2 people working together to make this bread work. That's what a marriage is. We gotta work together. It's poor man's bread because it takes 2 people, not 1 person, and it's efficient. There's no procrastination. Another explanation why it's called lechem oni. The Talmud says lechem she'onin alav dvarim harbe. It's a bread that has many things answered on it. The word oni doesn't just mean poor, it also means answers. It's a bread of answers. It's a bread of discussion. With the matzah on the table, we ask a lot of questions. We get into a lot of meaningful, deep philosophical discussion about where we came from, who we are, where we're going, what our relationship with God and our people are like. And this is what keeps our relationships going, good discussion. If we want our relationship with Judaism to flourish and to continue, we got to talk about it. We have to understand what it is. If we want our relationship with our spouses to keep on going, have discussions, just talk, connection, learn about each other, know about each other. We learn about God, we got to learn about our spouses. A connection number 3 between matzah and relationship. It's called lechem oni, poor bread. Why is it called poor bread? So in Talmudic literature, any bread that had multiple ingredients, oil, eggs, or other, in addition to flour and water, that was called wealthy bread. And any bread that had simple ingredients, flour and water, like matzah, it's called poor man's bread. So it's simple, it's simplicity. The Maharal explains that the poor man's bread is the bread of simplicity. That is the bread of freedom that we're celebrating. That is the bread where our relationship with God and our relationship with people flourish. It flourishes in the simplicity. When we focus on who we have in this relationship, not just what we have in this relationship. We're not beholden to too many cooks in the kitchen, to too many ingredients, to too many outside influences. It's just 2 things. It's just the flour, it's just the water, it's just 2 different entities morphing together, becoming one. It's simple. It may be poor man's bread, but it's simple and it's going to last. And that's where there is freedom experienced. That is where there is deep, meaningful intimacy, deep, meaningful relationships experienced. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.